Did you know only 1.6% viewers subscribed? Hit that subscribe button. Let's reach 1K for a surprise video. Your support means the world. Jake O'Connor's office in New Sydney was a cluttered sanctuary of past missions and present challenges. Weapons schematics, half-completed reports, and a haphazard array of alien artifacts filled every available surface. The city's skyline, visible through the panoramic window, pulsed with the energy of a metropolis that never slept. Jake, a seasoned weapons inspector, was sifting through yet another batch of mundane inspection reports when his holopad emitted a sharp, urgent beep. Priority alert. High-level inspection required. Immediate response needed. Jake's brow furrowed as he tapped the notification. A holographic image of Admiral Stanton materialized above the device, his expression as stern as ever. Inspector O'Connor, your expertise is required for an unprecedented discovery. A newly unearthed artifact has been classified as the most dangerous substance in the universe. Your mission is to evaluate its threat level and determine appropriate containment measures. You leave immediately. Jake's heart quickened. This was no routine inspection. The message included coordinates for a remote moon, far from the bustling life of New Sydney. The artifact's origin was shrouded in mystery, its potential for destruction hinted at but not fully understood. As he prepared for departure, memories of a past mission surfaced, one that had nearly cost him his life. A mission where he had lost comrades and almost his sanity. He shook off the memories. There was no time for hesitation now. The stakes were too high. He arrived at the Federation's headquarters and was quickly ushered into a secure briefing room. There, he met Dr. Elena Morrow, a xenologist with a reputation for brilliance. She was surrounded by a flurry of holographic displays, each showing different aspects of the artifact. "Jake O'Connor," she greeted, her eyes scanning him with the intensity of someone used to uncovering secrets. "I've been briefed on your past work. This artifact is unlike anything we've encountered. It emits a unique energy signature that could potentially disrupt not just local systems, but galactic stability." Jake examined the displays, noting the artifact's pulsating core, its eerie luminescence casting strange shadows. "Any idea where it came from?" "None," Elena admitted. "All we know is that it appeared on the remote moon of Zinder Prime, surrounded by a containment field of unknown origin. Its power could be catastrophic if mishandled." Their shuttle ride to Zinder Prime was tense, but filled with focused preparation. Elena provided Jake with specialized equipment designed to interact with the artifact's unique energy signature. Jake could see the weight of their mission mirrored in her determined gaze. Upon landing, they were greeted by Captain Hiro Tanaka, a grizzled security officer with years of combat experience. "Glad to have you both here," he said, his voice gravelly. "The site's secure, but we've detected unusual activity. We suspect the Shadow Syndicate might be planning something." The mention of the Shadow Syndicate, a notorious group of rogue operatives, sent a chill down Jake's spine. Their interest in the artifact could only spell trouble. The containment facility was a labyrinth of high-tech security measures. As they approached the artifact's chamber, the atmosphere grew thicker with tension. The artifact itself was a sight to behold, a pulsating, ominous object that seemed almost alive. Elena began her analysis, her fingers dancing over a portable scanner. "It's reacting to our presence," she noted. "The energy readings are spiking." Suddenly, alarms blared. Hiro's communicator crackled to life. "We have intruders. The Shadow Syndicate is here." Jake's mind raced. They had to secure the artifact and fend off the Syndicate. "Elena, how much time do you need?" "5 minutes at least," she replied, her voice steady despite the chaos. Hiro drew his weapon, ready to defend their position. "We'll give you that time." The next few minutes were a blur of action. Jake and Hiro set up defensive positions, their weapons trained on the entry points. The Shadow Syndicate operatives were skilled, but Jake's tactical acumen and Hiro's combat prowess kept them at bay. Each shot, each movement was precise, a testament to their experience. Elena's voice cut through the noise. "I've got it. The artifact's energy signature is stabilizing." Just as the last Syndicate operative fell, the artifact emitted a bright flash, filling the chamber with a soothing hum. The immediate threat was neutralized, But Jake knew this was only the beginning. "We need to move the artifact to a more secure location," Jake said, his voice resolute. "And fast." The remote moon of Zinder Prime loomed ominously as the shuttle descended through the turbulent atmosphere. The barren landscape below was a stark contrast to the bustling life Jake and Elena had left behind in New Sydney. The landing was rough, the shuttle shaking violently as it touched down on the desolate terrain. Jake's mind was a whirlwind of preparation and anticipation. As the hatch opened, the harsh, cold air of Zinder Prime greeted them. Captain Hiro Tanaka, already on the ground, motioned for them to follow. "Welcome to the middle of nowhere," he grumbled, his breath visible in the frigid air. "We've set up a temporary command center just beyond the ridge." Jake and Elena followed Hiro to a makeshift base, where a few Federation soldiers were monitoring the perimeter. The tension in the air was palpable. Jake scanned the horizon, his eyes narrowing at the sight of a distant structure, the containment facility housing the artifact. Inside the command center, holographic maps and data streams filled the room. Hiro pointed to a detailed schematic of the facility. "The artifact is here, in the central chamber," he explained, his finger tracing the layout. "We've detected unusual energy surges and faint traces of Shadow Syndicate activity. We need to move quickly." Jake nodded, his focus sharpening. "Elena, you take the lead on analyzing the artifact. Hiro and I will handle security and fend off any Syndicate incursions." As they approached the facility, the first challenge became evident: an intricate alien security system. Jake studied the array of laser grids and force fields, his mind racing to decode the patterns. "This isn't just advanced tech. It's a blend of multiple alien designs," he muttered, intrigued yet wary. Elena activated her portable scanner, the device humming softly. "I can decipher the energy signatures, but it'll take a few minutes." "Jake, can you keep us covered?" "On it," Jake replied, positioning himself strategically. His senses were on high alert, every shadow and movement scrutinized. The minutes stretched, each one feeling like an eternity. Finally, Elena's device beeped affirmatively. "Got it. Disabling the security grid now." The force fields flickered and vanished, granting them access to the inner sanctum. Inside the chamber, the artifact awaited. It was more imposing in person, a pulsating, otherworldly object that seemed almost sentient. Its core glowed with an eerie light, casting elongated shadows on the walls. Jake approached cautiously, his gaze fixed on the artifact. "Elena, what's our next move?" Elena's eyes were locked on her scanner. "We need to stabilize its energy output before we can move it. The readings are off the charts, and any sudden movement could trigger a catastrophic reaction." Before they could proceed, an alarm blared through the facility. Hiro's voice crackled over the comms. "We've got company, Shadow Syndicate operatives inbound. Jake, get ready for a fight." Jake's heart pounded as he prepared for the inevitable confrontation. The Syndicate's arrival added a layer of complexity to an already precarious situation. He positioned himself at the entrance, his weapon drawn. The first Syndicate operative appeared, clad in dark, sleek armor. Jake's reflexes kicked in, a precise shot disarming the intruder. More followed, their movements coordinated and lethal. Jake and Hiro engaged in a fierce battle, their skills honed by years of experience. Amidst the chaos, Elena worked furiously to stabilize the artifact. "I need more time," she shouted, her voice strained with urgency. "We'll buy you that time," Jake called back, his focus unyielding. Each moment was a delicate balance between offensive strikes and defensive maneuvers. The Syndicate operatives were relentless, but Jake's determination was unwavering. As the battle raged, a particularly formidable operative breached their defenses, heading straight for Elena. Jake's instinct screamed, and he lunged forward, intercepting the attacker with a well-placed blow. The two grappled, a brutal exchange of strength and skill. Just as the operative gained the upper hand, a blinding flash emanated from the artifact. The room filled with a resonant hum, and the Syndicate operatives hesitated, their synchronization faltering. Jake seized the moment, incapacitating his opponent with a decisive strike. Elena's voice cut through the tension. "The artifact's energy levels are stabilizing. We can move it safely now." Jake exhaled, a mix of relief and exhaustion washing over him. Good. Let's get it secured before the Syndicate regroups. The transport vessel hummed with energy as it hurtled through space towards the Galactic Federation's headquarters. Jake O'Connor, Dr. Elena Morrow, and Captain Hiro Tanaka sat in the secure cargo bay, their eyes fixed on the pulsating artifact now securely contained in a reinforced energy field. The gravity of their mission weighed heavily on them. Jake broke the silence, his voice tinged with curiosity and concern. Elena, what do we know about this artifact so far? It's like nothing I've ever seen. Elena glanced up from her portable scanner, her expression a mix of fascination and trepidation. Its energy readings are off the charts, but it's not just a source of power. It seems to be sentient. The more we analyze it, the more it responds. It's almost as if it's trying to communicate. Hiro's eyes narrowed. Communicate? With whom? Elena hesitated before answering. With us. Or, more specifically, with Jake. Jake felt a shiver run down his spine. Why me? Elena's gaze was intense. I'm not entirely sure, but it might have sensed something in you, your integrity, your experience. It's choosing you for a reason. Before they could delve deeper, the ship's alarm system blared, jolting them from their thoughts. Hiro's communicator crackled to life. Shadow Syndicate ships detected on intercept course. They're not giving up. Jake's pulse quickened. How long until they reach us? Less than 10 minutes, Hiro replied, already moving towards the ship's command center. Elena's voice was steady but urgent. We need to stabilize the artifact further. If they breach our defenses and it falls into their hands, the consequences could be catastrophic. Jake nodded, his mind racing. I'll help you. Hiro, you coordinate the defense. We can't let them get to the artifact. Hiro gave a curt nod and disappeared into the command center. Jake turned to Elena, determination etched on his face. What do you need me to do? Elena handed him a small device connected to the containment field. This is a neural interface. It might allow you to communicate directly with the artifact. If we can understand its intentions, we might be able to control its energy output and stabilize it. Jake took a deep breath and placed the device on his temple. The world around him faded, replaced by a blinding light and a chorus of incomprehensible whispers. He felt a presence probing his mind, seeking something. Who are you? He asked, mentally reaching out. The whispers coalesced into a single, resonant voice. I am the guardian of balance. You, Jake O'Connor, have been chosen for your strength and purity of heart. Jake's thoughts raced. Chosen for what? To protect and guide. I am a weapon of immense power, but also a source of great wisdom. In the wrong hands, I could destroy worlds. In the right hands, I can bring peace. Jake's connection faltered as the ship shuddered violently. He was jolted back to reality, where the lights flickered and alarms blared. Elena looked at him anxiously. Did you make contact? Jake nodded, his expression grim. Yes, and it's clear we need to protect it at all costs. The ship rocked again, more violently this time. Hiro's voice came over the intercom, strained but determined. They've breached the outer hull. We're holding them off, but we need more time. Elena's fingers flew over the scanner controls. The artifact is responding to Jake. Its energy levels are stabilizing, but it's still volatile. We need to move it to a secure facility immediately. Suddenly, the cargo bay doors burst open, and a squad of Shadow Syndicate operatives stormed in, weapons drawn. Jake and Elena barely had time to react before a firefight erupted. Jake shielded Elena with his body, returning fire with precision. In the chaos, one of the operatives reached the artifact, his hands hovering over the containment field. Jake's heart pounded as he realized the danger. Elena, we have to stop him. Elena's mind raced. The neural interface used it to override the containment field and neutralize the threat. With no time to lose, Jake reconnected the neural interface. His vision blurred as he focused on the artifact. Help me stop them, he pleaded mentally. The artifact's response was immediate. A surge of energy pulsed through the containment field, knocking the Syndicate operative back and disarming the intruders. The remaining operatives retreated, their mission thwarted. The ship's intercom crackled again, Hiro's voice filled with relief. We've repelled their attack. For now, we're safe. Jake removed the neural interface, his body trembling from the intense experience. He looked at Elena, who was equally shaken but resolute. The artifact helped us. It responded to my plea. Elena nodded, her eyes reflecting a mix of awe and determination. Then we need to get it to a secure location where we can fully understand its capabilities. The transport vessel docked smoothly at the Galactic Federation's secure facility, a fortress of steel and technology on the outskirts of a remote asteroid. Jake O'Connor, Dr. Elena Morrow, and Captain Hiro Tanaka exited the ship, their expressions a mix of relief and determination. The artifact, now contained in a mobile unit, hummed softly as it was wheeled into the high-security lab. Inside, the sterile white walls and advanced equipment contrasted sharply with the perilous journey they had just endured. Federation officials and scientists awaited them, their faces grave with concern. Admiral Stanton stepped forward, his gaze fixed on the artifact. Good work, team. But the real challenge begins now. We must understand this artifact and its potential threats and benefits. Elena took the lead, her confidence palpable. We've made some progress. The artifact is sentient and seems to have a dual nature. It can either protect or destroy, depending on how it's managed. Jake has a unique connection with it. The room buzzed with murmurs of intrigue. Jake felt the weight of their scrutiny but stood firm. We need to establish a safe protocol for interaction and containment. Any mishandling could be catastrophic. As Elena and the scientists began their analysis, Jake and Hiro remained vigilant. The memory of the Shadow Syndicate's attack lingered, a reminder of the ever-present danger. Hiro's voice was a steady anchor amidst the tension. We need to ensure the Syndicate can't infiltrate this facility. I'll coordinate with security. Hours turned into days as the team worked tirelessly. Jake's bond with the artifact deepened. He spent countless hours in the lab, using the neural interface to communicate and understand its enigmatic nature. Each session left him drained but more knowledgeable. Elena monitored his progress closely. Jake, the artifact seems to trust you. It responds more to you than anyone else. This could be our key to unlocking its full potential. Jake nodded, wiping sweat from his brow. It's like a symbiotic relationship. The more I understand it, the more it reveals. But there's still so much we don't know. Their breakthrough came one night when the lab was quiet, the hum of machinery a constant background. Jake was deep in another session when the artifact's voice resonated clearer than ever. Jake O'Connor, you have proven your worth. But a greater challenge looms. A threat from beyond the known galaxy approaches, one that seeks to harness my power for destruction. Jake's heart raced. What kind of threat? An ancient enemy, the Void Reapers. They sense my presence and will stop at nothing to possess me. You must prepare. Jake disconnected, his mind reeling. He rushed to find Elena and Hiro. We have a new problem. The artifact has warned me about the Void Reapers, an ancient enemy coming for it. Elena's eyes widened. We need to alert the Federation. This changes everything. Admiral Stanton convened an emergency meeting. The room was filled with high-ranking officials, all eyes on Jake as he relayed the artifact's warning. The tension was palpable, a mix of disbelief and urgency. We need to fortify our defenses and prepare for an unprecedented threat, Stanton declared. Jake, you'll continue working with the artifact. We need every advantage we can get. The facility transformed into a hive of activity. Scientists and engineers worked around the clock, enhancing defenses and preparing for the impending threat. Jake's sessions with the artifact intensified, each one revealing more about the Void Reapers and how to combat them. Elena provided crucial insights, her analytical mind uncovering patterns and weaknesses. The Void Reapers are drawn to the artifact's energy signature. If we can mask it, we might buy ourselves some time. The day of the attack came sooner than expected. Alarms blared throughout the facility as the Void Reapers' ships emerged from the void, dark and foreboding. The battle that ensued was fierce. The Federation's forces pushed to their limits. Jake, now deeply attuned to the artifact, coordinated its energy to bolster their defenses. Focus on the primary shield generators, he instructed, his voice calm amidst the chaos. We need to hold them off. Hero led the ground defenses, his leadership and bravery inspiring the troops. Hold the line. We can't let them breach the facility. Despite their efforts, the Void Reapers began to overwhelm their defenses. In the midst of the battle, Jake felt a surge of desperation from the artifact. It needed his help to unleash its full power. Connecting with the neural interface one last time, Jake poured his will and energy into the artifact. We need to push them back. Show me how. A brilliant light erupted from the artifact, enveloping the facility in a protective barrier. The Void Reapers' ships recoiled, their advance halted. With newfound strength, the Federation forces rallied, driving the enemy back into the void. As the last of the Void Reapers retreated, the artifact's light dimmed, returning to its steady hum. The facility was safe, but the cost had been high. Exhausted but victorious, Jake disconnected, collapsing into a chair. Elena rushed to his side, her eyes filled with relief and pride. You did it, Jake. We all did. Jake managed a weary smile. The artifact helped, but we need to stay vigilant. This isn't over. Admiral Stanton addressed the team, his voice filled with gratitude and determination. We've won this battle, but the war is far from over. We'll continue to study the artifact and prepare for whatever comes next.